So hopefully everybody can see just my web browser here. I just shared my screen. And you may or may not know, we've been running a virtual field trip program for probably about, maybe roughly about 10 years. It's been getting more and more popular, or it got more and more popular till we had basically every school. I used to go out and show everybody how to use Zoom, how to use webcam, set it up, have classes in the library, or just go to your teachers and give them a webcam, show them how it works, all that kind of stuff. Nowadays, it's gotten pretty easy. Pretty much everybody knows how to use Zoom, so it's no big deal. Hey, Joanne, thanks for popping in. So we don't need to necessarily worry about Zoom. The thing now is, like, how do we get these experiences? And when we say virtual field trip, it's just connecting to scientists, authors, explorers, teachers, experts, you name it. Anybody that we want to connect with, pretty much you can connect with. We've had a few things over the years where some people have wanted like $10,000 to connect with them and stuff, and we kind of had to pass on those people, you know, like the rich and famous. But generally, pretty much anyone else you can connect to. I send out updates usually about once a month. I just recently put everything into like a Google Calendar, which you guys can probably see here. Your calendar won't look quite as insane as this one I'm showing you. This is both eSchool and the entire district, broken up by K to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, all that kind of stuff. I will put the link to that in the chat for you guys. Let me just find chat. And if you have that email, you can look up there, or you can just use that little link, and that will take you to the breakdown of the district sessions. These are just kind of highlights. There's probably like 15 to 20 of these happening every day that are scheduled, and that's not including the ones that you pay for, that you negotiate one-on-one with experts or authors or scientists or whatever. So I just kind of picked out some of the highlights, and I put just a link in the in this actual thing here. Oop, that's streamable, I think. Let me just kind of, yeah, this one's here. So in that calendar, you can just simply click on the registration link. It'll take you to the registration page. You sign up. It tells you what time it happens, et cetera, et cetera. You get a Zoom link and you go. Probably 90% of these happen over Zoom. A few of them happen over some other technologies. This one here in particular runs on Cisco WebEx, which is very similar to Zoom. If you've used Zoom before, you won't have any problems using WebEx. It's really, really similar. Okay. So what we're going to do today is simply just take everybody through, like really briefly through some of our recommended resources. And I'll put this link in your chat as well. This is just our website we've kind of maintained over the past, I don't know, maybe 5 years or something like that. And just under resources, you will see.
Sorry, Mark,
yep.
Can I ask a really like techie challenged question?
Absolutely.
After this is over, how do I access these links?
I put the link in the chat.
Okay, but what do I do with it from there? Like once the meeting's over?
Yep.
Is it like, can I access it again?
This recording?
Okay.
Like I'm recording it. I'm going to send it out to everybody. I'm going to send this meeting out to everyone. Yeah. So that and the resources, totally. Feel free to just go in there, and I will send a link to everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so here we go. Recommended resources. Now, these aren't in any particular order. I just kind of add them randomly. Some of them may be more important ones I like the best, or maybe a little bit closer to the top, but no particular order. Okay, so this is where you find these field trips. If there's something on here, you're like, oh, I can't really find anything I like. I want to find something about the solar system. I need to do it sometime in December. Whatever it is, whatever your teachers are looking for, you can talk with them. You should be able to find, hopefully, a match in these resources. If you can't, please feel free to just fire me an email. I'm pretty good at finding these things. We've done, like, no joke, like thousands of these over the years. Like, so we've done almost anything you think of. So just let me know. Sometimes you do have to pay for them if you want something special on a certain time and a certain date. but tons of these things are free. And I always tell TLs that don't pay for anything at the start. Just when you start kind of rolling on this, don't pay. You don't have to jump out and start throwing money at people. Just check out some free ones. Let your teachers know, we got a marine biologist. He's going to be swimming with dolphins on Friday at 10 a.m. If you want to check it out, here's the link. Like stuff like that. You kind of know what your teachers are doing. You can kind of structure certain events around maybe some of the units that they're doing and stuff like that. But that's totally up to you. We're just going to go through some resources here. Here we go. So one of the biggest ones is this place called the Center for Interactive Learning and Collaboration, it's shortened to CILC. And this is a searchable database of almost every video conference provider in the world. If they do video conference programs like distance learning programs, they're probably in this database. So you just make an account here, a free account, and you search for programs. I've put a bunch of their programs that are free. They're doing something due to COVID right now called the Community of Learning. I put a bunch of these that I kind of thought might be interesting for people in our Google Calendar. But you can definitely go through here and you can see all these different sessions. These are all free. They're offering all these sessions for free right now. They're primarily US based, these guys, but they do have, the Royal Botanical Gardens are on here, the Royal Trail Museum is on here, all that kind of stuff. So you can either take a look at some of these free sessions, or you can just simply search. You just go to search for programs, like you just type in like, I don't know, Wales. You'll see it'll find all kinds of stuff. They have a Pinnacle Award, which they give to the best providers. And you can actually go and take a look at, directory.com, that's not so good. But if you click on like marine animals, the downside to negotiating or getting one single session with these guys is it costs, and it can be really, really expensive, like $150 for one single session, okay? So a lot of these sessions, you're probably not going to do many of them. Maybe you do a special thing with a whole bunch of students. Some of these providers say they don't want more than a maximum of like say 35 students, but some you could do in the gym. We've done some like dives on the Great Barrier Reef in Australia to an entire gym. And there are some, considerations around how you do that stuff. But if you want to do something like that, let me know. Okay. So that is CILC. Searchable. They have some free programs that are running right now, but they're kind of the biggest database if you want to just kind of jump in. And you can actually see the, I think the Pinnacle Award winners here. And they have like a Hall of Fame of providers. And Corrine at the Royal Botanical Gardens is super awesome. If you're ever looking for any type of botanical focus, she's really good. And we've done tons of sessions with her in the past. Like I said, the Royal Trail Museum's on here. But anyways, there's a great big list of the providers that have won awards this year, just to give you an idea of kind of what's out there, right? Okay, I won't spend as much time on the rest of these. We'll just go fairly quickly through some of the other ones. Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. This is a program. They run probably about maybe 30 to 40 sessions per month. It's all free. Joe Grabowski, he's a former elementary school teacher in Guelph, Ontario, runs this program. He's now a National Geographic Education Fellow. Great guy. I've talked with him actually several times. Super, super awesome guy. And they just talk to scientists and adventurers and explorers, a lot of kind of focused around National Geographic kind of goals. Like I say, they probably have about, these are some of their sessions, maybe 2 or 3, 4 a day, something like that. You can kind of view the calendar. Sure what's happening tomorrow. Doesn't look like too much stuff tomorrow. I'm not sure if they have next week on there. But you can see some of the sessions around science, conservation, etc. And you just sign up. You can sign up for a camera spot with your class. You can sign up just to watch on YouTube or whatever it is and ask questions. There's all kinds of different avenues, and you just put that info in when you sign up. Okay, exploring by the seat of your pants. Super cool and free. Right. Back to the next thing. Microsoft They used to have a program called Skype in the Classroom. They are axing it, getting rid of it the end of December. So I actually took it off our resource page just recently. But they have a new program. It's called Microsoft Virtual Communities, I think, Virtual Communities. And as you would imagine, a lot of it is based around Microsoft type things. There's a lot of things about coding, learn to code and coding workshops and sessions like that. But they do have other things. They have there's a thing on travel. We can, travel different places around the world and talk to people. There's museums, there's community things, there's creativity, like learning to draw. A lot of it is digital based, but everything is free, which is really, really nice. You have to, one nice thing is one thing I didn't mention this, those of you that might be new to this, you really obviously have to pay attention to the time zones, especially, because you're gonna have time zones that aren't in our own time zone, obviously. So not good if you show up an hour early or an hour late, not so good. This one actually converts to Pacific time, so does CILC, which is really, really nice. If it doesn't, you have to convert. Make sure you become an expert on time zones when you're doing these. I've only messed up once, so that was when we were connecting to Hawaii, and we connected an hour early. Didn't realize Hawaii, I don't think they change. We change, they don't change. Anyways. Okay, and next one is the Royal BC Museum, who've really become quite skilled at doing these virtual field trips. They call them digital field trips. Some people call them digital field studies and video conference. It's basically all the same thing. They have a whole bunch of programs that are available to book for a cost. And some of them are based around BC Indigenous history. Everything is BC based, which is really, really nice. They will even build custom programs for you if you want. We booked through eSchool. We're doing 6 programs with them this year. And they range anywhere from about $75 Canadian to about 120 is the max. We just did this BC Indigenous history. And it's led by an Indigenous expert, kind of walking you through the museum and talking about the different things. They'll talk about Okanagan people as well. And very, very good.
I have a quick question,
Yep.
Mark.
Yep.
I've never actually seen one of these take place. So are we the only class? If we sign up, are we the only group that's there? Is it interactive? Can the kids ask questions?
For these ones, yes. It is just you. The ones that you pay for, you decide on a time. You negotiate with the person that we call them the provider or the host. You negotiate a time just by email, or you can call them or whatever. And it's just you. It's just you, your class, and it's interactive, fully interactive. Your class can talk to them if you have a webcam and a microphone. Otherwise, some of them are just you can type questions in. And sometimes you're with a variety of other students from across the world, literally.
So when you say type questions in, what is the interface?
So basically, most of them use Zoom. So you'll just have the Zoom chat, and your class can ask questions. Sometimes they'll ask you questions and say, okay, what do you guys think? And the teacher will kind of type it in.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Yep. So they have tons of sessions on different aspects of BC, like animals and natural history. And we did an actual thing in October, is behind the scenes tour, where they took us behind the scenes of the museum and showed us some of the dinosaur people working in the paleontology and some of the people that build the exhibits, which was actually pretty fun. So anyways, our students like that one. Our students that are at home doing online stuff. They also have this thing called that they started at the beginning of when everything shut down last March or whatever. It's called RBCM at Home, and they host sessions where they go outside, or they just do sessions with people in the museum for free, which is kind of neat. We just did an Indigenous one where they just kind of toured around in Victoria out in the forest, and it was that Leslie McGarry that does the Indigenous sessions. And they looked at different things that are out in the forest, and they talked about Indigenous names and uses and stuff like that. It was very cool. They have one coming up December 9th where they're going outside and they're going to go through Emily Carr's neighborhood, which is pretty cool. And they're about half an hour. This one starts at 2 o'clock on December 9th, if anyone's interested. Okay, so RBCM, really good, right? Streamable Learning is a company we've been working with for several years. What they do is they put together a calendar of about 600 virtual field trips for the entire year. And it's sortable by grade level. It's sortable by month. A lot of it is American based, but we've actually worked with them really closely over the past couple of years to add more Canadian content. We've got the Royal, we've probably got about a dozen Canadian institutions, including the Royal BC Museum. We have the Maritime Museum in Victoria. What else do we have in BC? That might be it for BC. I think maybe one more. But there is some Canadian content, but like I said, a lot of it is American based. We just take a look at December. Vancouver Aquarium's on here. That's another one. And pretty much it was about maybe $600, $500 or $600 Canadian for the year. We purchased it here at eSchool. It's really popular with our teachers because the teachers, you just give them they make an account and they can just go out here and go Vancouver Aquarium. Okay, I want to book that this December 1st, grade 6 to 12. And they just literally just hit book and you get emailed the Zoom link. Okay. Sometimes they'll have resources to the teachers to take a look at before the session. But we've been really happy with these guys. You don't have to purchase a subscription to them, obviously. But we really, really like it. Our teachers like it just because they can kind of pick and choose out of whatever there is around here and book sessions on their own for their students.
So Mark, I had a question about that too.
Yep.
I emailed you a couple of questions about these guys. So they are $400 US. You buy a subscription for your school.
Joanna said probably 400 because we're already partway through the year. So it was a little bit less.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I think it might have been a bit more at the very start, but yeah, they probably prorated a bit.
Yeah. Okay. So if we purchase like we subscribe to them or whatever.
Yep.
Do we have one, how do I ask this? Do we have like sort of one username and password for our school?
Teachers just log in, they create an account and teachers just book sessions individually. All your teachers can book as many sessions as they want.
So my question is this, like if say Casorso buys one, how do they know that I'm not a teacher at Casorso?
That you're not a teacher at Casorso?
Yeah.
Good question.
You know, like why doesn't one school buy it and everybody else just piggyback off it?
Yeah.
Well, and I'm not saying do that, but I'm asking why. No, I'm wondering how that works.
It's a really good question, Joanne. I'm not sure if they actually pin it down to all the teachers at Casorso. They maybe ask you to send them the names of all the teachers in the Casorso and then they whitelist them. That's maybe what they do, but you're right. It may be open to anybody in the district. I don't want to say that. But
well, I don't think so though. I don't think so though, because we were looking at one and I think they let us watch one. And then I got an email from somebody saying, oh, we noticed that you don't have a subscription.
Right.
So I was just wondering how they kept track of that.
That's probably what happens. You know, that's probably what happens. They figure out that all of a sudden they got a bunch of teachers from SD23. They don't seem to be part of the same school. I'm not sure what their process is.
Okay.
But yeah, you can always, I'm sure, just even try it out if you wanted to. Create an account and try out a session, and you'll probably get an email at some point.
I think that's what we did because it used to be free, right?
Yeah, they offered it to our district. We actually used it for a couple of years.
Yeah. And then I have a teacher here that really liked it. So she said, are we still connected? I said, I don't know. She tried it. She got into a field trip. And then I got an email afterwards saying, hi, you know. Okay, just a question.
Yeah,
no worries.
Totally. Yeah, so I mean, try it out if you want. It may be open right now, but it probably eventually you'll probably get an email of some sort. Okay. Sorry, let me put my little do not disturb on here. Sorry about that call. Okay, so we've got about 10 minutes. That's Streamable Learning. We really like them. I think we have about 10 schools or so that have purchased a subscription in the district. They are focused more towards elementary, middle than high school. especially elementary. I find most of their stuff is now probably about K to 7, K to 8 in that range. So there is some stuff for the older guys, but yeah, okay. All right, so moving along, that's Streamable Learning. Now on to some local stuff. Kelowna Museums have developed through the COVID thing a variety of virtual programs. And the really awesome thing right now is, I think it's Jen Garner. The school district 23 has purchased the first 250 programs that anybody can use in the district through Kelowna Museums. So if you want to book any of these programs, they have Indigenous programs, they have science, like the amazing animals of the Okanagan, K to 5, social studies, the land and culture, salmon, et cetera, et cetera. They have lots of really cool programs all the way up to grade 12. And yeah, like the first 250 are free. I sent this out to all the teacher librarians, and I haven't talked to Jen, but I can imagine that they've been pretty busy just with people kind of, yeah, I want to do the land and culture. I want to, anyway, so take advantage of it. The district paid for 250. So that's, when I heard that, I was like, that's awesome. Okay. So that's Kelowna Museums, lots of cool programs, local. Some of them are kind of more of a nationals kind of focus, like Battle of the Atlantic and stuff like that, but definitely check them out. Okay, especially since it's free. All right. The regional district, haven't seen too many of these. They have them on Instagram, and I'm not sure they've quite fleshed out exactly because I can't seem to find like when they are ever. I always hear about them like after the fact. I've emailed with them a couple times, but you have to go into Instagram, and it says, stay tuned and stuff. So, but they do have programs. They have some, if you could look on YouTube, they have some like salmon programs where they go out in the park and look at salmon, things like that. So it might be worth a look, maybe worth just going to their YouTube page and seeing some of the things maybe they've done in the past and just sending them an email or something. Okay. Kelowna Art Gallery, same kind of thing, except they're charging you right now, it's about a $65 flat rate per session. And they don't really want more than about 40 people. And those of you that have never done this before, it does change a little bit once you get like say 100 or 150 people in a room. It's a bit like teaching. If you're trying to interact with the audience, it's a little bit of a different vibe. So some of the providers they really want you to limit the amount. I mean, if there's like 50 students, it's probably not that big of a deal, but they just don't want to open up Zoom and they see an auditorium with like 200-300 students. It changes kind of the whole nature of the program a little bit. But they have a whole bunch of programs, and they change based around different probably exhibits that they have, and so you can definitely just check it out and see what you think if you want to go to the art gallery. Okay. Next one is a little thing that is brand new. Just found out about it like last week or the week before. It's called OnZoom. It's hosted by the actual Zoom company. And it's a variety of people just like doing sessions on Zoom is all it really is. It's searchable, it's sortable. It's things like learn to play the ukulele or tea tasting or yoga or whatever it is. It's a database of Zoom sessions, pretty much. Programming, et cetera, et cetera. Some of them cost money. Like you see this one's like, I don't know, you start at a $9.99, you can go up to, some of them are like $1, some of them are for $20, like this one, some are free. See, a lot of them are free. But check it out, just another resource, okay? And it's just getting started. You'll see kind of, there'll be like star ratings. It'll be basically kind of like YouTube, except for live. That's kind of almost how I think of it. So this is just in beta form right now. It's brand new, but looks to be promising, have some promise. All right. Educate Today. This is a company that basically did live sessions. They had a whole bunch of them were free during the lockdown. You can search, you can find sessions. Most they're pay per session now. though. I don't think they're huge costs, but I think they are something like $75, $80 per session on a variety of different topics. Outschool is this company that used to do like basically did virtual classes, you know, for stuff, but they've kind of branched out a bit into doing just all kinds of short sessions on like crafts and art and you name it. There's tons of things, but there is a cost, but I think it starts at about $10 or something like that. Sometimes there are workshops that they do once a week, and so it's kind of a neat resource. So that's called Outschool. Next one, virtual researchers on call. I used to only really recommend this for the high schools because what this does is they have an expert directory where you can connect with university researchers. And they will connect with your classroom for free. I'm not sure if you guys can actually see that or not, but say if you type in like science, you'll find like hundreds of them. These are all like university profs that will just connect with your class to talk about whatever you're working on in science, you know, anything you want. And there's hundreds of them. And you can basically, a lot of them will talk even to K4, 5 to 8. This one's from the University of Guelph. Anyways, if you're looking for an expert, looking for a scientist, you want a Canadian scientist, go through this program. It's all free. And you can sort by grade level and stuff like that too. So it's pretty resource. Okay. I'm gonna go a little bit faster because I don't want to go over time. All right. Digital Human Library, a database of experts. Okay. Connect to Texas. Texas had to have their own database of Texas programs. So you can book through them. Some are paid, some are free. Scientists in Action, the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. They're very cool because they actually go out into the field and dig for dinosaurs, or they take you to where they're building satellites and they're right there with the scientists building them, and they show you the satellites, stuff like that. Very cool. They do about one per month, and you can sign your class up, and it's all free. Connect to Texas, like I said, or this Digital Human Library is free. Connect to Texas, some free, some paid. This NEPRIS, it's about a $300 subscription for like one teacher, but you can they'll connect you to anybody in industry. You just say, I want to connect to an animator at Disney, they find you that person, but it is expensive, okay? This Earth Echoes, the Cousteau family have developed this, and they talk to a variety of scientists, STEM type professionals every month for free. California Academy of Sciences, they host 2 or 3 free, I said 1 in here, but they host some free sessions every month, and they also have paid sessions. NASA has a variety of webinars that you can connect with each month, and they have a calendar. If you click on that, the Canadian Space Agency, you can request to have video conference with an astronaut. Takes a while though. They're not super responsive, I've found, but they will get back to you eventually. The Memory Project will connect you with a Canadian Forces veteran via video conference. Field Trip Zoom is the company just like Streamable Learning. Actually, the one guy that started Field Trip Zoom started Streamable Learning. That's how close they are. So you pay a subscription, then you get a whole bunch of field trips for the year, for the month. National Art Gallery of Canada offers free sessions. They will tour you through the exhibits. You can have a focus on Indigenous art or whatever kind of art you want. The sessions are really great. National Geographic Explorer Classrooms, that's free, by the way. Explorer Classroom connects you with National Geographic Explorers. They have a variety of sessions every month on kind of similar to Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. This one, I won't get into it, but you can actually simply search for explorers. There's literally thousands of them. And what we've done in the past is just contact them and say, hey, we have a grade 5 class that's studying lions. Would you like to connect? And I think every time we've done that, they're like 100%. I'd love to do it. Okay, and that's all it takes. All right, and there's space archaeologists, you name it. Like there's so many people in here that it's almost like unlimited. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm having to go so fast. I won't go too much further. You can definitely go through these resources on your own. I put a little description under here. Vancouver Aquarium, Smithsonian has programs. Discovery Education hosts field trips, although they don't seem to be hosting as much these days. There's databases where you can connect with authors. If you are interested in connecting with an author, my recommendation to you is to contact that person directly, or contact their publicist or their manager or agent or whatever it is. You can usually find that by a website. And sometimes they will want like $50. Sometimes they'll do it for free. It just depends on the author, depends how many books they sell generally and stuff like that. So California State Parks do a whole bunch of things, even live dives off of California with you for free, which is so cool. Australia has a great database of these. Time zone can be an issue, of course, with Australia. There's a tiny overlap for our school day, but you can definitely check it out. Bamfield, that's more of the senior kind of thing, has virtual visits and live dives. And that's about it. Okay, there's a few more. This Wild Earth, the times from South Africa, the times don't line up very well. You have to either have a sleepover in the school library or something. But your class can get on a live safari and ask questions live. And I've actually watched this. I encourage you to check it out. It's so amazing. They just drive around, just, oh, there's a lion, let's pull right up next to him. It's just insane. But the times are just terrible for us. It's 7 o'clock till 10:30 at night, and then 4:30 to 8:30 in the morning. Okay, so it's terrible, but anybody wants to get in on that one, let me know, because I'd love to give you a hand. Okay, and we have a bunch of sites for collaborations for students as well. We have some of the hardware guides for using Zoom and all that kind of stuff. But that is basically it. If anybody does want to ask any questions, for a minute or two, I don't want to go over time. I know you guys your time is so valuable, and you deserve to go home. But if anyone does have anything that, oh, you know what, something popped in my head, send me an email, give me a call. I am there to help you out on any of this stuff. You need to find something, you can't find it, let me know. I will totally do some research for you and find it. We have tons of contacts over the years with tons of people. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much. Question. Yep, Jocelyn.
It centers around like the hardware and stuff. I see that you've got the guides there, but when you guys first started this, did every school get outfitted with like a webcam or anything?
Yes. So every school should have one of these in the library that you can move around to classrooms if you want to. It should literally be this webcam, this exact webcam.
And how big is that?
It's just a tiny little thing, like that big. You put it on. And the other thing is, you should also have this, and this is important, a microphone.
Right.
Those webcams, the microphones only work to about 2 feet. And then the kids literally have to come up to the front of the room if they want to ask a question or something.
Okay.
We put these microphones up there. So hopefully if you can find them. Sometimes the last TL maybe put it in a closet or a drawer somewhere, or maybe somebody borrowed it and forgot to bring it back. But this microphone is good. You put it in the middle of the room. It's good for about 20 feet, as long as the kids speak up. If anyone wants a hand with any of this stuff, you're not sure how to hook it up, any of that stuff, please let me know.
And we just project it onto our whiteboards.
You can use a smart board. You can use a projector. You can use a TV. Any method of putting it up kind of nice and big. We find TVs are really nice because they're nice and bright. Sometimes projectors, your bulbs get kind of tired. You have to turn the lights off, and then the person on the other end can't see the students on your end, stuff like that. But yeah, any problems like that, let me know. I can definitely give you some tips and help you out.
Okay.
Okay.
I like it.
All right. Thanks very much, ladies.